The Switch is over 3 years old now, but is still riding high, selling out everywhere and shipping games by the bucket load. So much so that Nintendo aren't even thinking about a replacement at the minute, even with the looming arrival of PS5 and Microsoft's Xbox Series X. But that didn't stop someone asking about what comes after Switch in a recent investors Q&A, and if you read between the lines, there's a hint as to what form Nintendo's next console might take. Greetings everyone, Phil here from the Nintendo Village, and in this video I thought I would examine the comments made by some Nintendo bigwigs in that investors meeting and try and read between the lines to deduce what form Nintendo's next console might take in this rapidly changing industry. A big welcome back to all our subscribers, thank you very much for your support, and if you're new around here, welcome to the village. Hope you enjoyed this video and consider subscribing yourself once you get to the end. Without further ado, let's get into it. As I mentioned, Nintendo recently had an investors Q&A, and these things always throw up an interesting tidbit or two. This time around, they hinted that they may move away from Nintendo Directs if they find more effective ways of announcing games, and apologised for Joy-Con drift, though they didn't say much else about it thanks to the multiple lawsuits they're dealing with. But it was a question about Nintendo's next system that really caught my eye. The investor in question asked, "Could you tell us about the outlook for your next game system? Game hardware has always displayed an image on a TV or other kind of screen while you do something, and I think that's where the limits are for this format. Would the hardware you're thinking about go beyond those limits?" Now, Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa basically kind of dodged the question and reiterated Nintendo's commitment to the Switch, given that it's still gaining momentum in its 4th year. However, Senior Executive Ko Shiota, the hardware genius behind the Wii and the Wii U, elaborated a little more. I'm going to read his answer in full because I think it's important to take it all in. He said, "In addition to the performance aspects, i.e. higher technical specifications, Nintendo's dedicated video game platforms are developed with a focus on providing a comfortable environment for consumers to play fun software. From the perspective of playing with the image displayed on a TV, we believe that because consumers can play Nintendo Switch on a TV or the game console screen itself, it has greatly increased the opportunities for gameplay in various scenes in their lives compared to previous consoles. Through Nintendo Switch, we've made many discoveries about where a dedicated video game platform can fit into a consumer's daily life. We see scenes on social media of children and their families sitting around a game console to play, which gives us a renewed sense of the value of our dedicated video game platform. We will utilise these experiences in carefully considering the form our future game consoles will take." Now, on the face of it, it doesn't sound like he's giving too much away, but consider the direction that the game industry is currently headed in. Cloud gaming has the potential to totally change the way we play games. Google obviously thinks so, which is why they've entered the space with Stadia. Microsoft are clearly making a big push with their xCloud service, and Sony could well ramp up their PS Now offering soon too. Those companies clearly envisage a future where you play games on any device that happens to have an internet connection, in the same way you can watch Netflix on your phone, computer, tablet or TV. Microsoft and Google clearly think that we won't buy games consoles in the future, we'll just have an account like Game Pass or Stadia and log into that on whatever device we have lying around and play our games on there. There are questions around cloud gaming though, not least because the global internet infrastructure doesn't quite have the capacity to handle it as yet. That might change once 5G proliferates, but we're probably a couple of years away from that at least. Furukawa himself, in a recent interview with the Nikkei, hinted that Nintendo could move away from making games consoles in the future. In the interview, translated by Nintendo Everything, Furukawa said that in the long term, perhaps Nintendo's focus as a business could shift away from home consoles. Flexibility is just as important as ingenuity. But he did say in the long term, and that brings me back to the Switch's successor and Shiota's comments. He made a big deal about how the Switch had given Nintendo a renewed sense of optimism about the role of a dedicated gaming platform, and I'm right there with him. I've got a smart TV with Netflix and Disney Plus on it, and I've got Facebook and YouTube on my phone. But I like ignoring both of those in order to pick up my Switch and focus 100% on games. Shiota's right in that the Switch has allowed people to fit more gaming into their busy lives. Whether that's playing some Smash on the bus, tending to your Animal Crossing island during a lunch break at work, or even just taking the system round to a friend's house to play some Mario Kart. The Switch is the perfect way to play games in the insanely busy lives we live in the 21st century, and I don't think being able to play Assassin's Creed on my smartphone is all that appealing. Games, real proper video games, are something separate from the daily apps you mess around with on your smartphone, and so I still feel like they need a special place to let you do that. We may well get to the point where there's a Nintendo app that lets you play Breath of the Wild 7 on a foldable hollow phone as I ride a tube to work. And I bet you that still wouldn't have a new F-Zero game on it. But for now, I still want my games on, well, a games console. The Switch scratches that itch and does so in a way that fits around my daily life perfectly. I'm so glad Nintendo have recognised that, and that, at least for now, it sounds like they're fully committed to the idea of a dedicated video game platform. But what do you guys think? Do you think Nintendo should take a leaf out of Lataku's book and head for the clouds? Or are you hoping that the dedicated games console hangs around for a little bit longer? Let me know down in the comments, and let me know if you enjoyed this video. If you did, give that like button a tickle, and maybe consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with all of our weekly uploads. There's tons more cool videos here on the channel, there's one of them for you to check out over there. And be sure to check out thenintendovillage.com for more Nintendo news, reviews, features, podcasts, and all that cool stuff. Thanks again for watching, I'll see you all next time.